Alright, so this is just We the People News, okay? Arm length from this video. Not knowledge enough to fully comprehend and understand what he speaks of. However, the name, Janet, and Powell, Y Powell, or however you pronounce that name, about 30 videos back, check it out, a man was filing criminal complaints against her, right? And I told you guys kind of look at it and learn how to file criminal complaints. It gives you an idea. Whether you file against an officer, by the way, P.S., y'all, don't take it to the officer itself, but take it to the magistrate or take it to the prosecutor for a grand jury review. Okay? Um, well, what are they doing? They're investigating themselves. Well, we don't want them investigating themselves. Is it going to go anywhere? No, but you want it here and for on the record. That way, if anything comes up, hey, look, I did this and this and this and this. You guys, it's on you. Okay? I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice. Okay? Anything I say or do is just opinion. Opinion. All right? Never look straight forward. Always look around you. Be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. Like I said a second ago, I thought it was interesting about the 30 videos back about criminal complaints on this lady.
Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell are hiding something from you. That's right. You've got this dirty little secret they don't want you to know about. And I'm going to reveal it to you right now in 3 simple, fast steps. Step number 1, let's go over how there's almost $1 trillion that has just vanished from the TGA, the Treasury General Account. This is basically Janet Yellen's checking account that she has at the Federal Reserve. And if we look at this chart going all the way back to May 22, it was over $900 billion. So like I said, almost $1 trillion. And then if we fast forward about a year later to May of 2023, almost the entire amount is gone. So this begs the question, where did it go? Well, a lot of you watching this video right now are probably saying to yourself, well, George, that's easy because she spent money on Social Security payments or buying Zelensky a brand new mansion in Malibu, or it's going to be something like that where it's very explainable. Oh, okay, fine. I understand that she spent the money out of the account. Let's remember, this is during the time frame when we're dealing with the debt ceiling issues, so she wasn't able to issue as many treasuries as she otherwise would have. But there's a lot more to the story once you start scratching beneath the surface. Let me show you what I'm referring to. First and foremost, let's go over the mechanics of the TGA. Very straightforward here. So Janet Yellen collects taxes from this guy right here, who's probably pretty pissed off that he's paying way too much. Biden's telling him to pay his fair share. He's like, well, go ahead and quantify what my fair share is. Because this 30 or 40% of my paycheck that I'm giving Janet Yellen, it definitely doesn't feel fair to me.
Now, that being said, I'm going to lean towards, and I'm not as educated as he is, but the red guy there, he is under the oppression of the corporation, right? Pay the fair share, this, that, here, and there, right? But that red guy is us as well. Just saying. It's an overall. If you got to pay taxes, you're paying taxes no matter what. Okay?
But then you have another group of people that are also buying bonds. But they're doing this, they're taking the money, whether they're buying bonds from Janet Yellen or they're paying her taxes, they're taking their money out of their bank account. Makes sense. Whether it's their checking account or savings account. So that money goes to Janet Yellen, and then she parks that at the Federal Reserve. This is the TGA that, again, in May of 22 was over $900 billion, almost $1 trillion. And then what she'll do is she'll spend that money back into the economy, let's say to Social Security recipients, just to keep this example simple. So based on these straightforward mechanics, when this money is coming into the account, all else being equal, you should expect the aggregate total of savings accounts or checking accounts to decrease, to go down. And as she spends that money back out into the economy, you should expect the account balances to go up by the exact same amount they went down to begin with. But you see, this is where it becomes quite mysterious. Editor, go ahead and throw up a chart of M1 money supply from May 22 to May 23. And you'll see that it went down dramatically. Well, let's go ahead and throw up M2 money supply. This is another money aggregate total that you would expect to increase quite substantially if Janet Yellen is spending almost $1 trillion into the economy. And just like M1, we see that it actually declined. Now, for those of you who have watched a lot of my videos and are really paying attention right now, I'm sure you're probably saying to yourself, okay, George, I get what you're saying here, but we all know that the entities that are really in charge of the money supply would be the banksters themselves. So if they are lending a lot less, in other words, on net balance, if there are more loans that are being paid off than are actually being taken out or being created by the banks, then you would expect that to put downward pressure on the overall supply of currency units. In other words, these money aggregates that we showed earlier. But editor, go ahead and throw up a chart of overall bank credit from this time period, and we see that it's pretty much flat. So where did this almost $1 trillion go? Did they give it to you? Did you bury it in your backyard? I didn't think so. They definitely didn't give it to me. But we've got to figure this out. We've got to put our CSI detective hat on, because when we do, this leads us to the secret that I was talking about before that Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell have been hiding from you. Step number 2. All right, now let's go ahead and start putting some of the pieces of the puzzle together. First of all, when was the last time you went to Walmart, Home Depot, or Target? My guess is in the very recent past, maybe even today or this week. And why? Because those are hugely popular stores that most Americans frequent, at least on a weekly basis, to get kind of the staples, the stuff they need. All right, well, when you go to Walmart, when you go to Home Depot, when you go to Target, where are those goods coming from? Well, most of them are not coming from the United States.
All right, go and rewind that a little bit on the next video because my video froze. I don't know why it's doing it, but it is what it is right now. All right, part 2 coming up. This is the way the people is. Bye, y'all.